Hello everyone, and welcome to this presentation on how earthquakes happen. Earthquakes are a natural disaster that can cause devastating damage to the environment and human life. Understanding how they occur is important for us to be better prepared and able to reduce their impact on our society. In this presentation, we will explore the fundamental causes of earthquakes and examine how they relate to the movement of tectonic plates. We will also discuss the different types of plate boundaries where earthquakes can occur, and the factors that determine the strength and impact of an earthquake. By the end of this presentation, we hope to give you a better understanding of the science behind earthquakes and the measures we can take to minimize their effects. So, let's get started and explore this fascinating topic in more detail. As we discussed earlier, earthquakes are caused by the movement of tectonic plates. In this slide, we will take a closer look at these plates and the different types of plate boundaries where earthquakes can occur. Tectonic plates are massive slabs of rock that make up the Earth's surface. They are constantly moving and drifting, driven by the heat and pressure within the Earth's mantle. There are three types of plate boundaries: divergent boundaries, where plates move apart, convergent boundaries, where plates collide, and transform boundaries, where plates slide past each other. Each of these boundary types has its unique characteristics that can lead to different types of earthquakes. It is important to understand how these boundaries work, as they play a vital role in the occurrence of earthquakes. Let's delve deeper into these plate boundaries and examine how they relate to the occurrence of earthquakes. In this slide, we will focus on divergent boundaries and how they relate to earthquakes. Divergent boundaries occur where two tectonic plates move away from each other, creating a gap between them. As the plates separate, magma rises from the mantle to fill the gap, eventually cooling and solidifying to create new crust. This process is known as seafloor spreading and occurs mainly at mid-ocean ridges. Small earthquakes can occur as the magma breaks through the Earth's crust, but these are usually minor and go unnoticed. However, if the movement at a divergent boundary is more significant, it can cause a rift or fault to form, leading to more substantial earthquakes. It is essential to understand the behavior of divergent boundaries as they can have a significant impact on the formation of the Earth's crust and the occurrence of earthquakes. Let's move on to the next slide and examine convergent boundaries. Welcome to slide 4, where we will discuss convergent boundaries and how they relate to earthquakes. Convergent boundaries occur where two tectonic plates are moving towards each other, and they can create some of the most powerful earthquakes on Earth. When two plates collide, one plate may be forced under the other, creating a subduction zone. This process can lead to the formation of deep-sea trenches and volcanic activity. As the plates continue to move, friction and pressure build up along the plate boundary, and this can lead to significant earthquakes when the pressure is suddenly released. The size and strength of these earthquakes can vary depending on factors such as the size and speed of the plates involved and the angle of the collision. Understanding the behavior of convergent boundaries is crucial, as they can have a significant impact on the formation of the Earth's crust, volcanic activity, and the occurrence of earthquakes. Let's move on to the next slide and examine TR. In this slide, we will discuss transform boundaries and how they relate to earthquakes. Transform boundaries occur where two tectonic plates are sliding past each other. Unlike divergent and convergent boundaries, there is no creation or destruction of crust at a transform boundary. However, the movement of the plates can cause significant friction and pressure to build up along the boundary. This pressure can cause the rocks to deform, leading to earthquakes when the pressure is suddenly released. The San Andreas Fault, which runs through California, is a famous example of a transform boundary. The movement along this fault is responsible for many of the earthquakes that occur in California. Understanding the behavior of transform boundaries is crucial as they can have a significant impact on the occurrence of earthquakes and the safety of the area surrounding them. Let's move on to the next slide and examine the factors that determine the strength of an earthquake. In this slide, we will focus on the terms focus and epicenter and how they relate to the strength and impact of an earthquake. The point within the Earth where an earthquake starts is called the focus, while the point on the Earth's surface directly above the focus is called the epicenter. The size and location of the focus and epicenter are the primary factors that determine the strength and impact of an earthquake. The depth of the focus, as well as the size and type of fault, can also affect the severity of the earthquake. The closer the epicenter is to populated areas, the more damage and loss of life it can cause. It is crucial to accurately locate the epicenter to determine the areas that will be affected and to issue appropriate warnings and response plans. Understanding the focus and epicenter of an earthquake is essential in predicting its impact and mitigating its effects. Let's move on to the next slide and examine the measurement of earthquake strength. Welcome to slide 7, where we will discuss the measurement of earthquake strength. The strength of an earthquake is measured on the Richter scale, named after seismologist Charles Richter. The Richter scale measures the amount of energy released by an earthquake. The scale ranges from 1 to 10, with each increase of one number representing a tenfold increase in the strength of the earthquake. However, the Richter scale is limited in that it only measures the magnitude or energy released by the earthquake and not its impact on people and structures. The intensity of an earthquake, on the other hand, is measured on the Mercalli scale, which measures the effects of the earthquake on people and structures. The Mercalli scale ranges from I to 12, with I being the weakest and 12 being the strongest. The scale takes into account factors such as the damage to buildings and the impact on people's lives. Understanding the difference between magnitude and intensity is crucial in accurately assess. Welcome to slide 8, where we will discuss aftershocks, which are smaller earthquakes that occur after a larger earthquake. Aftershocks are a common occurrence after an earthquake and can last for days or even months after the initial earthquake. These aftershocks can be just as dangerous as the initial earthquake, causing further damage to buildings and structures weakened by the initial earthquake. The frequency and magnitude of aftershocks vary depending on the strength of the initial earthquake. Larger earthquakes tend to have more and stronger aftershocks. It is important to note that while aftershocks may not be as strong as the initial earthquake, they can still be deadly and cause significant damage. Aftershocks can also hamper rescue and recovery efforts, making it essential to have proper plans in place to deal with them. Let's move on to the next slide and examine the global distribution of earthquakes. Welcome to slide 9, where we will discuss tsunamis. Tsunamis are large ocean waves caused by earthquakes under the ocean floor. These waves can travel long distances and cause widespread destruction along coastal areas. Coastal areas near the epicenter of an earthquake are at the highest risk of being hit by a tsunami. Early warning systems and evacuation plans can help minimize the impact of a tsunami. When a major earthquake occurs near the ocean, it is important to listen for tsunami warnings and follow the instructions given by local authorities. Tsunamis can also occur without an earthquake, such as due to underwater landslides or volcanic eruptions, so it is essential to be aware of the risks in coastal areas. Let's move on to the final slide and summarize the key points of our discussion. We have reached the final slide, where we will summarize the key points of our discussion. Earthquakes are caused by the movement of tectonic plates and can occur at divergent, convergent, and transform boundaries. The size and location of the focus and epicenter determine the strength and impact of the earthquake. Understanding how earthquakes happen is essential for us to prepare for and mitigate their effects. By being aware of the risks and having proper safety measures in place, we can minimize the damage and loss of life caused by earthquakes. It is important to listen for warnings and follow the instructions of local authorities during an earthquake or tsunami. With the right preparation and response, we can ensure the safety and well being of ourselves and those around us. Thank you for your attention. Hi, I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you for watching my videos and supporting my channel. Your comments, likes, and shares mean the world to me and inspire me to keep creating content. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel. By doing so, you'll never miss a video and you'll be helping me reach more people with my message. I promise to continue providing high quality and engaging content that you love, so hit that subscribe button and join our community today. Thanks again for your support, and I will see you in the next video.